Hello.
Do you mind if I ask you a slightly personal question?
Oh
about,
no! We're live. We're live.
On the body, on the topic of like
We're live.
your body and the trans thing and everything.
We're live. We're live.
Oh,
Never mind.
just in time.
You can ask me that after the stream ends.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Just like, write it down, I guess.
I was muted, and I was like, I was yelling, "Can I ask you something about like we're live?"
Personal, yeah.
Send me the question over Discord and I'll answer it.
Alright.
Just so you don't forget.
Just in time. I'm so sorry. We were already at 0. I had to.
We were watching it go down. And it's just like, what happens when it hits 0?
Yeah.
In my defense, I was patting an adorable doggo.
Okay.
That's fair.
I was out getting cigarettes from my father, and it was an adorable doggo.
Understandable.
Just a moment.
Okay. You can chill now.
System, plans, space runnage. Yes.
Alright. So. Back to us. Who do we have?
We have us.
Everyone but Maud.
Okay. Laura is here with us as well?
I think Laura is still running the doggos.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if she does come back, she may not be up for it anyway, so.
Yeah, no, understandable. So, system. Shall we talk about the system, how it's coming along, our projects going forward, things like that?
Yeah.
Alright. So, first of all, how are you finding the system? You're my testers, so I would love to know.
So, I myself, I quite like the system. I really want, like, I know we are just alpha testing now and just for the basics one, but I really want like those future classes like the summoner and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was a little bit hard to get into at first to understand the roles and shit and stuff, but I guess that was sort of the same for me for the 5th edition as well, the D&D 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's necessarily the system itself.
Yeah, it's mostly like growing into it pains. Like I can understand that.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So you're liking it. Just had a bit of trouble getting into it from scratch, like usual. How does this work, sort of thing?
Yeah, but then again, I am not that seasoned of a role player in general, so I only played in 5th edition before, very briefly in 3.5. So.
Okay.
Oh, you're not going to be prepared for me.
Oh, definitely not, but that's half of the fun, isn't it?
It is.
Perhaps.
I gotta say, I really enjoy this one because something I enjoy is when the a system makes sense,
Yeah, definitely.
especially for how it's played. I think that's why, like, I enjoy playing D&D, but it's one of those things where it's like depends on like how the players are and like all these different things. And I mostly like the interactions that I have during combat for D&D because it's mostly a combat system.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing Call of Cthulhu and having fun with that because of how like different things worked out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very fun system to play. This one I absolutely adore
Oh.
because I enjoy a lot of sci-fi stories, and I like that. And I think one of my problems is with fantasy stories is that I like modern settings, and so that the fact that this is fantasy but modern is a big plus for me because I do like magical elements, but I don't like a lot of like fairy tale way once upon a time in the past kind of setting.
Yeah.
Silly tropes.
Yeah. And so, and I think it's because I like seeing, oh, here's the setting that I recognize the differences. So I like urban fantasy a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get to play that. And then one of my favorite parts of doing TTRPGs is I like the role play. I like going into the game specifically knowing that I'm going to be doing role play.
Mm-hmm.
And this system rewards it so much. And even it's like one of those, and when I say that I'm specifically thinking of like the mental stats.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a player, even when I fail a roll, it is rewarding for me because I know that my actions have consequences for my character. Even if it doesn't happen to anything else, my character is affected by something that I did and how they feel about it.
Yeah.
And I very much enjoy that.
Like, even if you fail, you know that to recover it, you're gonna go in depth into the roleplay of your character because it's one of the integrities, sort of thing. As well.
Yeah, and even then, it's like that. Like even with that, I still enjoy like the failing because there's a narrative reason for it, and we get to explore what failing it means.
I honestly I like that it is actually encouraged by the system, but I think that's more of a DM thing, depending on who your DM is.
Yeah.
But we would never have done I don't think we would ever have done this in like this. It's because we use this system that has this.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and then even for people that aren't as comfortable role playing, they can still focus on integrity and allow it to fade to black. Like if you have an integrity that says I will help those in need to feel necessary, for example, you can just tell your DM my character is gonna spend some time handing out food to the homeless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
And
even if you don't feel comfortable RPing, it is a system that allows you to work with around it.
Yeah.
yeah.
something I touched on earlier is that we don't have a moral alignment system here, and I feel like that definitely plays into the strength because I feel like I keep comparing it to D&D because I think that's the one thing everyone has played if they're looking into
For
this.
perplexing reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also there's a moral alignment system in there, and it's there's all these different archetypes because you're essentially making a fairy tale or like a fable.
Yeah,
or
you're
myth,
making a hero sort of thing. Like you're making
a hero story. And here it's a modern setting. Nothing is ever going to be black and white in the setting. It's all varying shades of gray.
Oh yeah, I do like that about.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting because I don't think we would have ever gotten the character complexities that we have now had we had a moral alignment system.
I mean, here's the thing. Like you can, I will say, with this, you can still write a story about heroes. You can still do that. It's just not gonna be the heroes that you see in a fantasy sort of thing.
I will say, and I'm never going to say anything in D&D's defense ever again, so, mark the occasion. The setting of D&D is a lot more common to Dark Ages Europe. And people really didn't have the sort of moral concerns we do now back then.
Yeah, true that.
And it's one of those. A lot of us are living in late stage capitalism, and it is a fucking nightmare. And to be able to go into a setting that we understand, and just like, we can't do anything about how it is in the system, but it's a bit of a power fantasy, at least in my end, because I can't do shit, but my character can. Even though I can't Viva la Revolution the whole problem away, I can still be like.
We can pretend we can Viva la Revolution the whole problem away.
No, I was not even like in the story. Like, I don't think there's, unless we put serious work and thought into it. I don't think we're ever going to reach a point where it's just like, yeah, let's just
destroy the corporate. Yeah,
destroy the corporations. Like, there's no possible way, but we can still be like,
you can make it better for at least some people.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't do that in my normal day-to-day life. I just don't have the ability or resources to do that. But in the story, I can help someone who needs help.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyone else wants to talk about a setting, like even if it's criticism, anything? We are in beta. We are in late alpha, so it's if there are things to fix, I'm more than happy to do that. No.
I mean, I don't have. You know me, Jerry. If I can't find a criticism, I'm all too quick to point it out to you. But I really can't think of anything. Like that off the top of my head that I've been holding on to. Like something will inevitably pop up.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
For example, I will need to work on the magic system a bit more. At least make clear the difference between combat magic and narrative magic, like narrative time magic and combat magic, because I think the two things might be a bit contrasting, because in combat you have a very specific list of effects, but in narrative you can use it as utility. Then out of a specific list of effects count into the utility part of it. I think I'm getting to a point where I'm liking what I'm seeing, as in having narrative utility going through your DM, going, okay, depending on the width of your spell, that's gonna be like 5 points, 6 points, 7 points, or something like that. While in combat you still have the list going, this is what you do in combat. Other things, I'm thinking what else. I might need to look at the momentum and threat, mostly because I would like to see more use of it. And I don't know if I didn't put any incentive onto using it.
I think we are absolutely terrified to use momentum if it takes us below 5.
Yeah.
That's your baseline threat.
Yeah, that's the if someone dies under 5, we're fucked sort of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like if we go to 8, it's like, ooh, 3 momentum, let's go shopping. But if we're at 5, it's like, where is our safety net if we do this?
Yeah.
I might need to change the threshold for the rest, so you're still gonna use it and you don't just hoard it. Or I might just make it so it's maybe not tied to momentum, as in whatever momentum you have, you just cancel all of it and you're not gonna get any for 2 sessions instead of 1. Instead of going 5 points, you get it one set and you get it a session later. Like a session later, you don't get any. Like make more.
I'm not following that at all.
Basically, what I'm thinking is if 5 is the baseline, I'm gonna save a character with those points, right? that means that you will never use under 5, or you will very rarely use under 5 because you know that's the safety of the character.
Yeah.
If I go, instead of costing 5, it's gonna cost all the moment. You need to have at least 1. But after
Oh, okay. So I get it. So instead of saying that you have to use 5 momentum to get someone back, you say that you have to use all the momentum that you have, but you can even do that on 1 momentum.
Yes, but then you won't be
Yeah,
able
okay.
to gain any for like 2 seconds.
So you'll have a momentum debt.
Yes.
See, that one I'm not so sure about, because that one has the opposite problem of making death a bit cheap.
No, because I mean,
What does death mean now? I'm going to fail a few more rolls. For a few
not really.
sessions.
You're still gonna get a lot of shit to your character. Like, you still don't want to go down. Like, you're taking a grievous wound first. You're taking mental damage second. Not to mention, the party needs to be there. Like, the rest has to be basically immediately after combat. If you went down, that has to happen now. They can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna take one to the hospital." Like, you need to do that on the spot. If a party goes back and then like recovers your body but doesn't arrest you, then you're fucked. And it can't be in active combat. So say
I
what?
know. I think it's more than just a moment resolution.
Well, we're gonna have a think about it because I'm not seeing a lot of use of momentum, and the same thing can be said as for Dread, like not using that much. I like the resource being there. We just need to balance how it's used.
I really enjoy it when you use the threat. Like my favorite use of threat is always the butt.
But,
Yeah, the bot is great.
but I love the bat. I'm not gonna get rid of the bat because I love the bat.
My favorite thing is like, I love it when you're like, you're going to get shot. You get to choose where you're going to get shot.
Yeah, no, you have to choose if you're getting shot. Like, it's not even you're getting shot. It's
sort of like that bit in Nibiru, where if you choose a bad memory, you will have some cool shit with it as well.
yeah. You're still gonna succeed in what you're doing, but something goes to shit. Tell me what.
Yeah, and it's one of those where you kind of have to balance out. All right, so here's what can happen. How can I, like, cause it's one of those things where something bad's gonna happen. What's gonna happen, and you get to decide. All right, so what is it going to be? And then there's always a possibility you can turn it to your favorite too.
Yeah. You're gonna make
Because,
it
like,
interesting, to the very least.
Yeah, it's not like an automatic. I'm going to make you fail. It's one of those. I'm putting a roadblock in your way, and you get to decide how you're going to. I'm going to let you choose what the roadblock is, and then I'll let you use that roadblock to make your story more interesting.
Mm-hmm. And that is why I want, like, in the rules I did write. You guys at home can see it, but in the rulebook, it's there, I swear. I heavily encourage the narrator, the overseer, to let the characters choose. Like, you could say, "I'm gonna use the bot and this happens," but that's not interesting. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to put the character in the spot of saying, like the player in the spot of saying, "Well, shit, what do I want to make happen to fuck this up for my character?"
I like how it also highlights how we each look at what is the best possible bad outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's pretty obvious that I am fully.
You are really sadistic with your character.
Yeah, I'm fully ready to just throw John to the sharks for narrative reasons. Like, he will get bloody and beaten and close to death like 5 times by the end of this arc, no doubt. because for me it makes it more interesting. I have this because I'm playing a character that's heavily combat based. What happens when he can't fight as well as he needs to? That makes it more interesting for me. And it's one of those things where had I still been playing Mira, what's my butt? Well, her butt would more likely be I can't hack, and I need to find a way around it because her specialty is hacking. And it's one of those, for me, I think the reason why I keep going for, oh yeah, he's going to get injured is it makes it so much more interesting for me because I have to now find a way for my combat character to find a solution that isn't combat.
Yeah, not to mention, this is something that you still haven't explored much because Grievous Wound at the moment have been sorted out really easily. But that's because you're in a situation where you have access to a hospital and downtime. Once you're out there, if you go in the wilderness, Grievous Wound are mostly fought for situations where healing is not readily available. So now you're going in the Old Town, right? And you're gonna probably spend quite some time there. You're gonna have to you might have come to a point where you're gonna have to make a choice saying, are we pushing on today? Are we going back? But if we go back, are we going to go? Are we gonna get back in one piece? Because the way forward is still gonna do the way back, and it's gonna be just as dangerous. Same thing in wilderness. Going in the wilderness, you get stung by something. It's a grievous wound. You don't have a hospital. You either push through what grievous wound you have, or you find a way to treat it on the field. But that's a lot more difficult than when you have actual medical professionals.
Goodness, yeah, it's one of those. And I think it speaks a lot to we're playing characters that are a lot braver than us too.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
In this situation, none of us would be mercenaries. None of us would be armed. We'd all just be in our houses. But we're playing these we chose to be characters that are just yeah, there's a chance we're gonna die, but we still need to do this because it's the job that we're doing.
Yeah.
I remember at one point, this was before this was it was just a me and you thing because we were playtesting something. And it was it was a real quick scene.
Oh, yeah.
I was, my only time I ever did an ether user, and my whole thing was, all right, I need to run away. And you're like, you can't run away. You have to do this because we're trying specifically to do this.
Yeah. You did manage. You did actually manage that scenario. You went out. I think we were trying to test the cover system.
The what system?
The cover system.
Oh, the covers. Yeah.
I think it was that. I don't remember now, but I think it was that.
The most I remember is that the character's name I was playing was Kitty Litter.
Yeah. And that damn warehouse. I'm gonna run away. No.
That freaking warehouse.
We're trying to test something. Stop running away. Sorry.
Anyway, if you have, of course, if you have any suggestions, we have our little Discord. If anything comes up, you'll remember. And now, up to upcoming shows, because we have a number. Kara.
Oh yes, hello. I am indeed Kara Fox. I am going to be running a Dragon Age TTRPG show. Well, campaign. In the near future, probably not next week because I still have to do some shit for it. And we are still doing some character gen for it. But it will definitely launch in the first half of May. I am looking forward to it. We are going to have 6 players, which is, yeah, going to be fun. And it's going to be my first time GMing.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
Thank you. For those who are interested, the time period will be around 934 dragons, so around the second act of Dragon Age 2. And our little party is gonna come together in the first session and gonna embark on whatever they signed up for.
And I have no idea about the setting, so I'm looking forward to it.
I know some, but not that much. Like, I know enough to like it, but just not in depth enough to say, oh.
Yeah, like, if you're not in depth enough, that at least means that I can fuck up the lore as much as I want.
I mean, we're gonna be in depth now. We're going to the deep road.
Yeah, we are going to the deep roads.
Alright, you're streaming. There will always be someone to correct you.
That's true. Also, like, my dear friend Audrey will be here as well, who knows a lot about the lore. Yeah.
Yeah, so, out of the 6 of us who do the Cerulean Springs, like the menagerie stream, I'm going to be the only one not participating because I have a job. That is, not to be like that, but I have a job to be an essential
I mean,
worker.
it's not like it's not wrong.
Well, no, because Dawn has a job too, but I'm an essential worker, so I can't work from home, so I can't do the stream and work, because I work in a kitchen, so I have to be in the kitchen.
We love you anyways, don't worry.
Yeah, we do love you. It's most probably gonna be on Wednesdays, our usual time, same time as we do Cerulean Springs, and that's about it. The first bit of on Cerulean Springs note, the first bit of merchandise is coming up soon-ish. I have almost finished it. It's gonna be Panda as an Animal Crossing character, villager.
It's looking adorable. I have to say, I've seen the work so far and looking damn adorable.
And I'm hoping to do the whole Cerulean Springs cast, the menagerie, in that style.
Yeah.
So we can have ourselves on phone cases and shit.
Oh.
You know the drill.
You hear that, all of our 7 viewers?
6 of which are us.
No, I'm not. I don't have a stream open.
Okay. Now I'm scared.
You should be. Another show we have coming up is heavily modified D&D.
D&D 3.5 heavily modified by yours truly. It is modified, there is nothing else, do not look deeper into it. We can lampshade as much as we want, we just can't say anything.
Prepare for a lot of meta jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked earlier. I asked this to you directly because I want to play this, but I only have 2 other days that I'm free to play. So what day of the week do you think this might be on?
This is something I do need to work out with everyone. I still need to keep a couple of nights. I still need to keep a couple of nights free for myself. So besides your game, I've also got various other games I'm planning that I want to run for other people. I'm considering making it some sort of a morning type game.
Ooh.
It's either going to have to be late night Friday for Laura's benefit, or sometime during the day on the weekend. Maybe Sunday, like from noon till about 6.
Are we doing a brunch stream?
Maybe.
Cool. Yeah, that could be a good idea.
I mean, I am free every day, except for when we do the menagerie thing, obviously.
Well.
And then I'm gonna do the Dragon Age thing, and after that, because I'm gonna be watching Gone.
Even the Dragon Age thing, I'm looking at that and going, okay, I'm probably going to have to juggle a few things around for it. So I'm going to have to get back to you on that at some point. But
even if you want it to be earlier, I'm fine with that as well. Like, yeah, at the moment I don't have anything else to do.
Maybe we'll see.
Sort of.
We'll have a little thing. I need to update my schedule. But yes, so are we then married to the idea of Sunday brunch time?
I am completely fine with this.
Yes, because I can play.
Okay.
I'm gonna see outside, but I mean, we have like we can, if I'm not around, like we can get players. Like it's doable, absolutely.
In that case, it's doable for me as well. I literally just need people to have characters, and then I'm ready to go. As a GM, I take a little while to build up momentum, but once I do, I'm great.
Good. You're really good. Like I like your style.
Well,
I have never been GM by you, so I have high hopes.
um, well, I will not to humble brag or anything, but I have been paid to be a GM before,
Ooh, fancy.
doing it for a convention.
Nice. That is actually really cool.
It is.
I did Call of Cthulhu for DragonCon Newport. DragonCon Newport.
Nice.
So yes.
We have like our lovely Liam as another project. If you want to talk about it, or if you don't, like, don't worry.
I have another project.
Not you.
Yes. No. You.
Or you?
Yes. You.
Oh, actually.
Oh, actually me. Oh, what other project?
Yeah.
You know which one?
Certain server.
Oh yes, the
Oh, yeah.
Minecraft to get all the Minecraft kids on board.
Yeah.
So I'm currently hosting a server, which I may want little donations from. I'm paying for a server that is going to be. Someone needs to stream it. It can't be Panda because Panda's only doesn't have the Java version. And it can't be me or Jerry because me and Jerry are already quite entrenched in this game.
Yeah, and not only that, I'm not sure if my computer is gonna actually.
My computer already can handle it, but if it does, then I'm going to be like streaming it by myself for myself.
I mean, that can still, like, you can still do it. It's not like they're not gonna force you on this one. Like, we're gonna.
Yeah, that's true. But like at the same time, I don't want to be known as the person who started streaming via Minecraft in 2020.
No, but we're as DM said, I've been playing on it as well, and we're playing with the FTB Revelation, and it's so much fun. Like, it has so many things.
And almost never crashes.
Almost, I mean, almost never crashes.
But whenever it does crash, it's always when I'm not about to fix it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to give
Amazing.
Jerry some server login access.
Aww.
Well, I'm already co-owner of it, but like, yeah, I can't. I need to be able to have early nights sometimes, Jerry. I can't stay up until 5 in the morning every evening.
What did you get?
That is an allegation which I will not deny nor confirm, but I was up at that time.
Like, apparently, some point last night, the server crashed due to a really weird memory overload. So I got that. I eventually got that fixed at like 10 this morning, but like Jerry sent me a message when I was far too asleep to do anything about it.
It's so good. That mod pack adds so many things. Like, it's almost overwhelming.
Technology, magic, like about 7 different varieties of technology, 3 types of magic.
No, it's not just free. You have well, let's not count Draconic, but you have Botania. You have
Botania as well. So you got Botania, blood magic, thaumaturgy, and
Astral
celestial
Sorcery.
magic.
And I think there's another one as well. Like, I think there's another one with those sorcery, because you have wands and shit. I don't know where to get them, but you have them.
Wands, okay, individual wands are like scattered throughout. Like, there's also an updated enchantment list, potions list, so on and so forth.
Oh, and I think Quark does magic as well, because I found runes tied to a Quark mod.
Yeah, so there's a lot. Like, it's
a lot. It's a lot.
It's 100+ mods.
Oh, and it's 100+ mods, of which a lot of them gives you the abilities of fucking over a server majorly.
Yeah,
Tomcraft.
and I've given access to certain other friends of mine who are either trusted to make a happy community, and at least one to screw it all up for us.
I know you're talking about me.
You know who I'm actually talking about.
I
sweetie.
know, but I'm the one with access to the flags at this point.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, there is a Minecraft server up that may be streamable, and at some point in the distant future, even opened up to a community. Should we
Yeah.
have one? And yeah, I'm perfectly capable of paying for the hosting rights for now, but maybe later on when when the quarantine's over and money becomes an issue again, I could do with some help.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. On that note, soon TM yet again, we are gonna be launching a Patreon.
Yes.
We will have a bunch of tiers, like some will include, like we are planning on doing this podcast more often, so some will include early access to this podcast, like you can vote in polls, submit your questions early for this thing, maybe make your own NPCs. Shit like that. Usual shit.
The sexy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We had from a person that last liked our stream, a certain Steven, who said, "I do." Hi, Steven.
Hello. Hello, dear friend.
Yeah, we're setting up Patreon eventually, as Kenna was saying. We're gonna have a number of tiers. We're still all deciding how to tier it up, basically.
Yeah.
With that being said, the basics manual is, as we were discussing earlier, we're still. I will still say we are in late alpha, even if the testing is going well. Still gonna do some balancing, still gonna do some stuff, but we shouldn't be too far. Like soon TM still, but it's coming along well. We just need to sort out some balancing and some things, finish the writing part of most of the rules are done. This is mostly just the rules are mostly done. What we lack at the moment is just playable character stat blocks, monster stat blocks. No, we do have playable characters, like pre-made characters as well. We do have them already. Monster stat blocks, like encounter stat blocks, and all the corollary stuff that you want in a basics manual to play it from the box, basically.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if that is a thing people are interested in, I'm more than willing to do a little video about monster creation.
Ooh, yes. Oh yes, we still need to work. We're still working on the little mechanics videos that we were suggested. It's just like the whole planning thing, and then when we started doing it, like all the war went kind of to shit, which didn't help with anything. Like yes, I have to say it's so weird, right? We're all at home, and it's still hard to find moments.
It's one of the perplexing. It's not like an us thing, as far as I can tell. Everyone in the world is having the same sort of like, holy shit! So now that I've got free time, I need another excuse not to exercise.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not be productive. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Oh yeah,
Yes, it's
don't
almost
feel bad about it.
Scary.
honestly.
It's okay to
To take time
like,
for
sit down and
yourself.
think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing I'm having to learn at the moment. I'm not doing everything that I thought I'd be able to do, but that's because I picked a really, really bad time to start wanting to do things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like I've worked multiple jobs before in my life, so I know how to keep myself from getting burnt out. It's getting a lot easier for me to get burnt out on things, and so I'm having to take more time to be like, all right, I need to like decompress before I start working on this, or else I'm just going to just absolutely just not want to do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still need to pick up that skill. I've been burnt out on art for like the past 4 years or so.
I've been trying to write for the past God, Jerry, you know how long I've been trying to write for.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, I have to say, it's like. I am glad that I'm not, like, at the moment I'm burning out of this, and I don't intend to. It's, for the moment, it's going really well, like, with this for me, like, not feeling burnt out with this.
Honestly,
One of us.
I feel like it does help that you like that in TTRPGs in general, people like to call it like what do you say? Fuck, English
Escapism?
hard. No, not necessarily escapist, but cooperative story writing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It helps
Because
a lot.
yeah, because you're not the only one who. So it's not just you who pours your thoughts into it, which stops you from like pouring everything you have into it. So it doesn't burn you out
Not only that, like,
to that degree.
it's always very helpful to know you have other people who are invested into what you're doing, like what
Yeah,
you're
that's
writing,
true as well.
and I hope I'm making, like, I'm giving you a same vibe of investment in your characters and things like that, because I absolutely am, like, I love all your characters. They're so good.
Yeah, we're pretty amazing.
But even if we weren't playing a game, I'd still, like, for 2 years now, because I think I've been here for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
This has been the thing that has gotten me through my week. Like, I have always been just working as hard as I can so I can get to the day that we play the game.
Oh.
Because that was, for a good 2 years, that was the two things that were getting me through my life. And then up until recently, that was the case. And then, because I was working at a fast food job, and then I didn't have that job anymore. It's complicated because I quit, but I also got fired. I got fired for quitting. Essentially, I put in my 2 weeks, and after 1 week, they're like, "All right, you just don't come into work anymore." I'm like, "Okay." So,
You're not quitting, I'm firing you.
No, it's like I put in my 2 weeks, so like I technically was like, "You can't fire me. I'm firing myself." But it was one of those, like, I got fired for quitting kind of thing.
With
It
you.
just sounds so
How
weird.
dare you threaten to leave us unless we pay you more? That's it, you're fired.
And it was one of those, and so I started working where I'm working now, and suddenly I didn't need an escape anymore because I enjoy where I work now. So it's one of those. It became less of a I need to use this as a way to get through my week, and became I get to see my friends at the end of the week. And now it's an escape because now I'm in forced isolation, and this is like the one time I get to socialize.
Oh.
Yeah, the verse has gone to shit, and here we are with each other.
Yeah, and
Yep.
And
then
I
once
love
everything
being here with
fixes
you.
itself, and then once everything fixes itself out, it's gonna be I get to see my friends at the end of the week again, instead of I need to make it until I get to see my friends.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Italy's getting there. Like, apparently, we're gonna start getting at least a bit of openings. Early May. Still not sure. Like, we've been going on. We've been going on.
I'm not. I'm gonna remove myself from this conversation right away because I don't get political.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say is, at least y'all are doing better than my country.
Yeah.
Even if only marginally, you're doing better than we are here.
What I see that could happen if one of the countries like reopen, that they're gonna be doing fine for like 2 weeks, and then there are gonna be a shit ton of new cases again.
And then
Getting political on a 16-plus tabletop stream.
Shall we?
Tired for this stuff.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we finish the stream with a kind of against humanity thing?
Sure.
Why not?
To take the edge
I do
off.
have. I do have another question that we were doing, like, because we were asking questions before the break. I have another question for y'all.
Okay.
And it's definitely a lot more lighthearted.
Okay.
So this is for everyone. What is your favorite goof or joke to come out of the game?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
And I'm going to add this as a two-parter. One that has happened on the stream, and if you've been with us if you've been playtesting prior to the stream, what was your favorite one? Then two. I want one from the stream, and if applicable, I also want one from pre-stream.
Okay. Who wants to start?
The floor is yours while I set up the Cards Against Humanity game.
Oh god.
I hate my goofs.
It doesn't have to be one that you've created, but like one that has come out of the game that you were present for. Or even not, like, you don't even have to be present for, but one like you might have heard of that you think is
Damn with
funny
these
that came out of
hard-hitting
it.
questions.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we are going for Cards Against Humanity cards, we definitely need a chicken salad card.
Oh god, yes.
I think we actually had that.
I also think we need a very suspicious teacher in a shady alley.
A very suspicious teacher in a shady alley.
What have I missed?
I don't know, but I feel like
It
I
was
something
yours!
It was your dude!
I'm the shady teacher,
No,
really? Oh, yeah.
the guy you were talking with.
In the
Oh
library.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Adrian. Oh, you fucking moron. I was like, as soon as I started talking to him, I was like, oh god, what if he's like actually like sympathetic to the corporations or something? But no. He's got the subtlety of a dead lemming. Fucking moron.
It was, I love playing it. Because it was like...
He actually reminds me of my Welsh nationalist anti-vampire.
Now I'm curious. What?
Oh, remember the vampire game? The vampire hunter who was a Welsh nationalist for one
Oh god, yes!
mini scene.
Oh fuck, you're right. Oh yeah, you guys are with
Just kicks the combat vampire in the face, screams, "Come here, Ambith," and runs out of the building.
Oh shit.
I was not the combat vampire. I was not.
Oh.
How dare you lie?
Anyway,
I also think Flying Panda is one of my favorite goofs. Horrifying, but definitely up there.
Yeah, definitely. One of mine was John's fist bump in front of Goodman's office with a wind.
But my favorite is the metagaming pigeon man just looking in the window. Completely fucking forgot about it, but this was so good.
I don't know what it does here.
So I'm not terribly good at and therefore fond of Cards Against Humanity, so I'm probably going to bow out for this.
Night, guys. I'm
Night.
starting to die again.
Good night.
No, too. All right.
But have fun. Let me know how it goes, and I will think about goofs.
Alright, thank you for coming. Good night.
But do tell me that Ikeny's screwbox scene is in there.
Oh
Talking
god.
about Ikeni. If we are submitting pre-stream stuff.
Yeah, no. Oh, pre-stream stuff. It's pre-stream. There's that, and then there's. I think it was a pleasure doing, it was a pleasure working with you, Leon.
What?
You cut out there.
That was pleasurable.
No, Leon, do you remember the...
Vaguely. The pleasure house. Are we talking about the one on Mars?
Yes!
Yes, I remember that. Long
Good
story
night.
short, my character my character who was like socially awkward as hell lost a bra at an orgy.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about that one. I mean, that one too, but not that one.
Oh, are we talking about the fight?
No, we're talking about giving the
The video?
not even that. Giving the very illegal explosive to what's it called, to the foreman, and then
To the
going,
foreman.
"Oh, it was a pleasure meeting you. Goodbye."
Oh! Just absolutely failing to read the room.
Tell me when you have set up the cards thing.
Okay. All right.
For those of you who don't know, basically, it went like this. Leon was playing Mira. This was in the stream before our... not in the stream, like it was in the game before the stream. And they were on Mars, and we were living in this really seedy hotel, like with this Russian guy handling jobs for the people inside. And due to a number of misunderstandings, Mira comes out, and as she's passing in front of a reception, the guy goes, "Oh, I have package to deliver to the foreman. You're the one that has been sent for it, right?" Mira goes, "Yes, I am." And I'm like, "Shit, this wasn't supposed to happen." Because
Here's the thing, I have a hard time understanding a lot of like sarcasm and like a lot of stuff like social cues, and also I can't see faces, so she probably was like making like this really shit-eating grin as like a way of saying this is not serious, but I can't see it. And I'm like, tone of voice is like, okay, yeah, so this is the payment that I'm doing to stay here, so
so Mira takes it up and like, well, fuck, at this point, I guess we're doing this. As you probably noticed, this tends to be a running theme with this. This one of them doing something and me going, well, I guess this is it now. And this guy goes, "Oh yeah, you make sure you aren't followed. You bring the package, and if package starts ticking, you just throw it away and run."
and I did that, and one of my greatest like interactions was like, okay, yeah, here's the like I went up to here and I'm like, all right, so I work technical support. I have the customer service voice. like that's essentially what I'm doing. Is like, here's the thing. Are you the foreman? Yes, I'm the foreman. I've been sent to deliver a packet. I was told to do it in private, and he goes, essentially, he goes, lowercase r, in the for the password. I'm using my phone for that because Cord won't open on my computer, so it auto caps the first letter.
Yeah.
And so, and I was like, and so essentially, like, everyone knows what it is in that area. It's just getting to there is I had to be secretive. So when I realized that, I'm like, oh, here it is. I take the package out, and he goes, I was told that if it starts ticking, to drop it and run, thinking this is some pertinent information that he needs to know. And he goes, yeah, I know. And I'm going, okay, it was a pleasure meeting you. Have a nice day. Thinking that's how you end conversations in, like, technical support and customer service. And it was like, the culture there was so different that it's just like, oh, that is.
That is not what was supposed to be.
Yeah,
Like,
but Mira didn't notice, so she's not, you know. And so that was just like the funniest thing. And like I consider it a success because the guy wanted Mira's phone number afterwards.
yeah.
He never got it. He never got it because he asked it through another character who never passed the message along. But
Amazing.
And we are live with cards. By the way.
I am saying she would have been down.
Ooh. It was a
Was there a
centaur,
ton of it?
by the way.
Yeah, I know he was a centaur with a wolf lower half.
Yeah. What's there a ton of in heaven?
Having a literal bump between your shoulder blades, centaurs.
Oh no.
I'm literally just.
Oh, I need to do this.
Oh god.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I am when it comes to my favorite goof or joke, I am very, very biased because a goof got me the job helping production with.
Yeah.
And it is I've mentioned this a couple of times. So there's a thing that I've created.
Next on ESPN2, the World Series of blank.
And it was it's called the horse lift.
Oh god, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That goof got me my job with Sprita Studios.
Yeah.
Can I tell the story and I love telling the story, so I will tell it no matter how many times.
Introducing the amazing superhero sidekick duo, it's blank and blank. But yes.
Alright, so for anyone watching here, so how I got into the group was at the end, like right after.
Introducing the superhero, it's bisexuality and having big dreams but no realistic way to achieve them, or having a literal bomb
Whoa.
between your shoulder blades and explosions. You know what? This is relatable.
It is indeed.
I mean, it's a mood, but mine went together so well. And so what ended up happening was we were, at the end of, like, right after I'd graduated high school, I was like, I really want to get into tabletop games, but I have no friends that will play with me. So I went to Reddit, and I was like, all right, let me look for some groups. Only one of them really ever... Oh, shit. Is anyone else having a problem connecting?
No.
No, not at the moment.
Get a new card already?
Yeah,
I did not.
you're selecting.
You're the.
I know.
You're supposed to be
I'm
the
still,
tar.
I'm still at the superhero sidekick duo card.
Oh,
Oh.
what was in the I'm gonna read it to you because I think you're gonna appreciate this. What was in the Kinder Egg? The selections are a whole thing of butter or an AR-15 assault rifle.
If I could pick, it would be the assault rifle.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what
Okay.
will Mr. Toward have on display during his next gala?
But so it was like only one really ever, came up with anything, and that was originally the one for Call of Cthulhu.
Oh.
And so that is where I met Jerry and Dawn, as well as some other people. And Jerry was like, "Hey, y'all, I am making this game. Who wants to come play test it?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, but everyone who wasn't in there was like, "All right, sure." I'm throwing away a card. But it was like we were like, all right, well, so let's go over there, and so we start. That was a throwaway card, by the way. I was really like, what's a girl's best friend? But I was like, all right, so we'll do this, and so I was in there for like a week, and Jerry was like, so have you had a chance to check the game out? And Jerry, I'm gonna make a confession right now. When I said yes, but I'm confused, I was lying through my teeth. I hadn't even looked at it. But
I mean,
it's not letting me do it. You were not
The first red flag we missed was blank.
But I was like, yeah. When I told her, like, yeah, I've got a chance to look at it. I'm just having trouble like understanding it. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. And she goes, oh, I can help you. And I go, that'd be great. So we went through it all together, and so I made my first character. It was Mira.
yay!
I like it right there.
Great cards.
For my next script, I will pull blank out of blank. Oh, I have a perfect.
Mine might be a bit TOS.
Oh. Oh. Right, we're getting spicy here. I will just say something. Has it ever been ever been taken out of them?
What makes life worth living? And so, but to get, to keep talking, so I stated earlier in the stream that my first interaction, like my first part playing, it was just me, Jerry, and Dawn, and it was the buddy cop movie. And so what the inciting incident was we were searching, like something was happening to underground fighters where they were getting these implants, like some different implants that were explosive.
Oh.
And it was like, all right. And so we were trying to go through all this. And he tracked this guy down. He's on Mars, so that's how we ended up. And this is when Isaac came in, and that's when Pixie came in as well.
Yeah, when you were going into the mines of Satna.
This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with blank.
I mean,
political. But
we have an invader.
Yes.
Come to Broadway this season. Blank, the musical.
Oh yeah, like
But,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I wasn't sure if you were continuing or got sidetracked there.
I am. And so. Oh God.
Oh, I want to see a musical of this one, though.
I love the new card. But so, what ended up happening was,
you were brought into
how we were trying to find a way to get to Mars, and to do that, I was like, hey, I have this contact at some Sedna, and we're like, all right, can you get us up there? And they're like, because our two options were like, we either go through the gate, which was expensive but real quick, or we take the cruise. And I thought we need to do the quick one because we don't know if he's going to run by the time we get there. So we need to do it quick. And so we're like, can you get us up there? And he goes, yes, but it's going to cost you. And I go, all right, well, we'll pay you when we get up there, but we need to get up there. And he goes, okay. So we go over to him, and he's like, all right, so what I need you to do is I need you to go to this one guy and get my data stick back. Because I lent it to him and he's not giving it back. I need you to get it back. And this was his way of being like, here is how we're gonna play test combat. And so this is also how Garian and Mira meet Pixie and Bannon, which is Isaac's character. And we go to this warehouse and we're like, all right, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna talk, we're gonna get them.
Ooh.
All I see for the black card is my blank, so I thought I'll just for her. But so we get up there and the guy starts shooting at us.
Yeah, like straight up. Yeah. I mean, they started shooting because Gorian decided to just force the door open instead of trying to talk her way in.
Yeah, but it's still like they just shot at us and we're just like we just came to talk. But we get there and so they're shooting at us and I'm playing a hacker, which is mainly support. It's also where there's a card I believe there's a card here that's accidentally suffocating a guy with his own lungs. That is what my character did.
Yep.
Because I was hacking. I did a sweep of like, here's all the things that I can hack. And then like, there's one guy who had one. I got to turn it off. It was a lung implant that helped him breathe.
And you shorted it.
And that I didn't realize that was what I was going to do. But we were in this setting, and then there's the map, and there's one room that's blocked off, so that we can't see what's in there. And I feel a ping behind that. But I hear like a ping.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, all right. So there's something behind there, and we don't know what it is. And I keep complimenting Jerry about her descriptiveness. This is one of the situations that takes place, and it's like she sets the scene by going, all right, so you're doing all of this, and did you just win?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Jared just won.
And so, and she goes, so all of this is going on, and you hear from the back this like bay door opening, and this comes out, and she pulls something out in there, and so what was going on was it was like early alpha testing, so we did not have any assets. So it's like if we were playing.
You're saying it.
It was like if we were playing.
Sorry.
If we were playing. If we were playing like in a kitchen, if we were like playing at home, we'd be using like spice bottles as tokens, kind of thing. And so that's essentially what it was. And the token that she used, it was 2 tokens, and it was a horse with a guy on top of it. And something to note is that Bannon, Isaac's character, was a centaur. So in my mind, we're just like, none of us knew what was going on. None of us knew what we were looking at. And I'm thinking maybe it's a centaur, and she just didn't have a token for a centaur. And she goes, read the note. And we're like, we can't, there's no note. But Laura can read the note because she had DM privileges. And so she goes, all right, I'll read the note. This is not a horse, this is a forklift. And we lost it. We fucking lost it. Like the game halted to a stop for like 5 minutes because we were all so busy laughing.
Yeah, no, well,
we were dying, and like like we kept making jokes about it throughout the rest of the combat, and I remember sending in a picture of a horse to the group chat, going, "Ceci n'est pas une cheval." And funny enough, when I downloaded that, I downloaded it under the name Forklift. Well, I looked at it and I thought, there needs to be art of this. And then after a few beats, I was like, wait a minute, I'm an artist. So I'll do it.
And
So I spent a week on that. So like I had the picture of the horse, but I'm like, I don't know how to draw a forklift. So I downloaded a picture of a forklift titled Horse. I titled it Horse. And it took me a week. I got a sketch layer, I did line art, I did base coloring, I did shading, and I put a gradient background for it. I spent way too much effort on this thing. I was like, all right. And so this is when we were still doing it on Sundays. We were still playing the games on Sundays. So it was one Sunday, and the next Sunday rolls around, and I'm like, I spent way too much time on this bullshit, enjoy, and I just drop it in the chat. And we all lost our minds again.
Yeah, no, we lost it like for about 10 minutes again because of the magnificent that it was a thing.
I remember, so we have a friend named Dennis, and one of the messages I remember him saying was, I can never enjoy art now because of this. Like, nothing will ever top this. And I'm just like, ah! And I remember saying, yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying, yeah, nothing will ever surpass that.
I'm throwing the game again. And then I remember mentioning to Jerry, going, hey, if you ever need like an artist or anything, to draw assets, I'm always open, I'm always available. And she goes, all right. And I was like, right. And we were like, yeah, I'm serious. And I'm like, all right. And so that's how I got my job.
And that's how you arrived.
Amazing.
You're gonna have time for regrets when everything is gonna be said and done.
Yeah, I have got my job through pure coincidence. So, like I was talking about my previous game, I have done some TTRPGs in person while I was at uni. I was a part of the Dungeons and Dragons Society and the Board Game Society. But after I finished uni, I had a hard time of finding a group, so I went on Reddit, from which I went to a Discord, which since then has stopped existing. That's how I found my previous campaigns. But then it all ended because our DM had some personal shit going on, so he didn't have time to prepare for the games anymore. And that's when I started getting back into Guild Wars 2. And I met these people through raiding, and I got into their guild. And at one point they asked me, they were asking around if anyone was interested playing TTRPGs. And I was like, yeah, sure, like give me a link. And that's how I met Jerry, through those two people. And then that small campaign fell over. Like, it was sad, but that's how I joined the previous playtest at the very end.
Yeah.
As well. Like, in that small campaign, I was basically playing Riven, who's an eldritch monstrosity, more or less. And the other two, where one of them was Dr. Dogman, who had a unibrow, and the literal cat girl.
Oh god, yes. Wanted to tame an Emulinx, and I remember.
Yes. that was somewhere around the last bit we were playing.
Yeah.
And I was just asked if I wanted to join the other playtest stuff, and then I just somehow ended up here by pure coincidence.
In this episode, we find out that Nano's charge is in fact your weird brother, or an Nolan causing enslavement of hundreds of souls. That wasn't Nano.
Yeah.
Or
I know, but I thought it'd be funny.
No one say anything, but I replaced
this
Magpie's
is gonna be
coffee.
fucking disgusting.
Coffee grounds with. Oh, I have a perfect one for that.
Sadly, so do
So
I.
do I. Either this one or a different one. I had two good ones for this.
Did you send the thing? Cause error communicating with
Yeah.
server.
Yeah, it's. I think it was because Maud has joined and then left.
Might be, yes. Then
If they are in the car.
if I'm not gonna be able to choose, I'm gonna say say which one I would have used, cause it's way too good.
Okay, which one you would have used?
No one say anything, but I replaced Magpie's coffee grounds with gay conversion therapy.
Okay.
But we'll throw a wrench into the next mission.
I still don't see that. I'm still on
Damn.
I'm still on Magpie's coffee.
Damn. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No worries. So, the story of how I got into this game.
You made it.
I made it, and then I desperately tried to find people to play it with and test it. And I found
It is one of those. I've been in a lot of small fandoms, so it's just like I'm used to the feeling of why don't more people know about this? It's amazing. It's just like now I'm making it. I'm just like, come on, guys, please.
Now you're on the other side of
Well, that, like even when I was still playtesting it and on the same, like this is so amazing. How do not people not know about this yet? I'm just like, this game's amazing. More people should know about this. And now I'm like, in the same situation, but also, come on, please.
Please get us known.
Well, because it's one of those things where like I enjoy looking at fan creations, so I have a feeling that if people started playing this and making fan creations,
Oh
I'd be
god, it will be so amazing.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'd love to just look at it and go, oh, this is amazing. I love this. I love this character.
Anyway,
Like, I don't think there's anything like sweeter than seeing the people, putting so much hard work into things that they just enjoy. There's just so much love in it that
Definitely.
I love it. Anyways, I've been disconnected. I will say we need more people for a proper kind of
Yeah,
against
that's
humanity.
fine. To be honest, we are at like 4.5 hours now as well.
Yeah. Well,
I do have someone for us to raid.
do tell.
So Off the Table is doing their, I think it's monthly, or bi-monthly 12-hour fundraiser.
Oh damn! That, yes, we're going to rate that.
We have raided them once before.
Yeah, we
I
have.
will put their username in the Discord so you can easily.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been very fun to have this little session. If anything goes well next week, we're gonna be into a meat grinder once more. At least you're gonna be. I'm gonna be the one turning the lever of a meat grinder. Ain't that fun?
Oh boy.
Thank you all for coming. If you want, remember we do have a Discord server, a Discord community server that you can join. And we're trying to build up a community, get everyone together and all that, because just love it.
Yeah, I posted the link for Discord since don't think our command works yet. Yeah?
Maybe don't. Yeah, well, I'm gonna fix it.
I just posted it just in case.
Yeah. We have our lovely Kara folks who did
Hi.
the lovely icons that you see on the left side of your
Yeah,
screen.
let me.
That's gonna be the first to do a recap. Damn.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And Twitter is just your fox. If I can actually write it down correctly.
Yay.
I don't know any of my handles anymore. But I also don't have I don't use them very much, so I don't really see the point of thinking
Oh yeah, I
about it.
don't
Like,
use Instagram that much, but I usually on Twitter just retweeting shit, maybe live tweeting sometimes the sessions, stuff like that.
Yeah. You can find our Twitter at Sprita Studios, and you can find me on at least until I'm gonna change it because, well, you know.
Yeah.
It's just an M. It's fine. I mean,
it,
it's 90%
stands
of
for
my
Miss.
problems, but
We will just call you Miranda then.
yeah.
The M stands for Miss.
There we go.
Yeah.
And with that being said, probably gonna upload these on Monday. Still thinking about it if this is gonna be uploaded, but probably yes, both on podcast and on YouTube. But not sure. Like I'm still considering. This is a new thing, so
I think we should definitely.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I agree. And with that being said,
because we answered questions.
that's very true.
I just on YouTube just put it on a different like playlist.
Yeah,
than
just
the account
put it
itself.
on something else. Thank you all for coming, and see you all next Saturday. We're gonna go raid off the table. Raid.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Sure.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Have a nice night. Have a good weekend. Have a good life.
Yeah.
Until next week, when we hopefully see you again, or you will hopefully see us again.
Yay. Bye bye.